Hello and welcome back to another original Meaning to Live short therapy video. I'm Jed, and as a licensed therapist, I get to interact with all types of interesting people. But before we get too much further into this, be sure to subscribe and follow the M2L on social media. It's all about bringing up awareness and creating a happier life experience. All right, you ready to have some fun? This is fun. So almost every time I work with someone struggling with addiction, they ask me the same first question almost. They say, what is your DOC? And I say, Diet Coke. Diet Coke, automatic. For those of you who haven't chosen substances to be addicted to, DOC stands for drug of choice. And I'm not lying when I say Diet Coke is my DOC, because here's the thing. We don't have to be addicted to a mind-altering substance, aka heroin, coke, alcohol, whatever, meth. You don't have to be addicted to something like that to be an addict. In other words, you're probably an addict and you don't even realize it. And if you don't believe me, look it up online and you'll see that an addiction can be to substances, activities, or things. So in my head, being an addict is the same as being a slave. And I'm not positive, but I think there's an actual literal translation in Latin. So I've heard and I've read that in Roman times, the gladiators were given addicts as a reward. And another term for addict was slave. Addict, fetch me my weapon. Give me a grape, I'm hungry. Where beeth my robe? So it comes down to this. If anything external has control over your life, you are a slave. So, even if your emotional well-being is tied to circumstances or someone else treating you a certain way, it's tied to that, you're a slave. Remember, addiction is substances, activities, or thing. Dependency is dependency. And odds are you're addicted, it's just not as obvious as people who are struggling with substance abuse or alcohol dependency. And here you go. If you really want to know if you're addicted, look for withdrawal symptoms. So, any good addict, if they haven't had their fix for too long, will experience some withdrawals. And it looks like high anxiety, restlessness, insomnia, or they sleep too much, they're irritable, they're mood swingy, and they can't seem to focus. Or they get too focused on a certain thing and it turns into a panic attack, right? So those are some emotional withdrawal symptoms. Physical withdrawal symptoms are more like a serious, intense flu that feels like it's going to kill you. Basically, if you experience these things, if you're missing something in life, you're an addict. Cool, huh? Are you surprised by this? Maybe you are, maybe you're not. Either way, buckle up, because I meet with people all the time who are emotionally invested so much in someone that they're basically addicted to the person. They're relationship junkies. And in another video, I talk about NRE. Or maybe it's not your partner. Maybe it's your kids. Maybe you need them to be comfortable. And if they aren't comfortable and they do start to struggle, you experience those withdrawal symptoms, those emotional withdrawal symptoms, and then boom, helicopter parent. Or maybe you're addicted to distraction or having to have something to do all the time. Maybe you're addicted to money. And when you think there's not enough, well, that's when those emotional withdrawals are going to start. They're less obvious, sure, but just like any substance abuser, you'll do anything to keep that DOC coming because withdrawals suck. And this explains a lot. Think of it. Why do people work for unethical companies or for mean people? They'll set aside their own personal values just to have that comfort of a stable income and money. I know it's a wild concept, but just think about it. We're slaves when we're emotionally dependent on anything outside of us. Isn't this great? So now, with this understanding, we can have more empathy for the more obvious addict, because really, we're not any better. We're all the same. And that's it. Thanks for watching. And be sure to check out the website for a link to the blog and more videos just like this at www.addict www.meaningtolive.com. And until next time, awareness up.